Hey guys, welcome back to another episode. In this episode, I will be going through a complete breakdown of everything you need and everything you need to do and all the part numbers for the swap. So stay tuned. Alright guys, so there's been a lot going on in my life that puts me behind on actually working on this thing, and you guys will see that coming up shortly in my future episodes. But I decided to make a video about all the parts I used and everything I needed to do to get it to this point. I don't have it running, so it's gonna be a while until I get it running because right now I got no time for it. And a lot of you guys have been asking me about part numbers, what I used, the measurements, and so I've been sitting for the last couple hours getting every single part number that I used for the most part to make this happen. So oh, by the way, all the part numbers are down below in the comment or description. I got all the links and prices and whatnot it'll cost me. It's all down below. Check it out. If you have further questions, just comment below. I'll try to answer them if I don't get it covered in this episode. So first thing first, there's a lot of parts that I had to custom build. And so in order to make this happen, you basically gotta custom build a bunch of stuff. All right, so for the beginning, this is a 1.8 AEB engine code. I made the mistake of buying a AWP and that ended up in the trash. But it wasn't a complete mistake because I had to pull that transmission right there. That came out of a 2001 Volkswagen Jetta, and that's a manual 5-speed transmission that I cut up into sections. With that said, there's a whole video of how I build it, but that's where it came from. 2001 Volkswagen Jetta, engine code AWP. The only engines that work are the AEB for the swap. There's another one that might work, but I'm not sure about it because the issue is on the other engines, the water pump or the oil pump is on the front and it hits the crossbar. Following with that whole transmission thing, I had to cut it into pieces and build a plate. That plate is, there's two plates and they are 1 inch thickness. So one of them is about 3/4 inch and then the other one is a 1/4 inch, the smaller plate. Moving down, so you got the plate, you got the bell housing. Then I had to build a dustpan. The dustpan is the oil pan is different, so you're gonna have to build a new one. I just cut it out of a piece of metal and basically made it work. Also, there's an episode on that too if you want to go back and check it out. A lot of people are asking me what clutch and flywheel I've been using or finally fit. I haven't driven this car, but it works all with releasing, pressing, spinning, and fits. I mean, the engine's in. I tested it by spinning it with the clutch pedal, releasing it, and all that good stuff, and it works. I haven't tested it on the road, so don't hold me accountable for it. But all the part numbers are down below. What I did was I bought the flywheel, which is down below, and then there's also a clutch. The clutch disc came from a 2000 1990 something Ford Ranger, and that's the perfect size for whatnot. I used all the engine or the transmission components from the Jetta. So the clutch dog, the push fork, and the slave cylinder was all coming out of the Jetta. With the slave cylinder, I got my stock 944 master cylinder. I had to get a custom fitting welded for a conversion from this piece to the slave cylinder, and it cost me about $75 for the whole hose with the connection. What I did was I went and cut the connector off of the Jetta and took it to the a shop, and they welded on a connector onto that. So there's a whole episode on that somewhere down below. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the whole clutch system and what I got going on so far over there. The next thing I had to do was I had to build engine mounts, and then I had to build this line. This is the water line that I had to re-weld, and everything I'm talking about, it's all down below. Custom intake manifold. Then moving down to oil pan. To get the oil pan done, you need to re-weld your oil pickup line and the oil pan itself. I got the link for the oil pan down below. Also the baffle I used, it's also in the description down below. Moving on, I'm using stock steering rack. The issue you run into is on this side where you have the water pump. It hits the steering column. So I haven't finished that water pump, but I got it all figured out right here. This is the whole water system. So in order to get my water cooling, I had two options. Either go electrical, which I got the link down below for this box or this setup. This is what it looks like. This is Dave's Craig electric water pump and controller, and you can control the fans and all the other stuff with it, as far as I know. But I'm not a fan of doing electrical work, so I decided to go mechanical, and I was trying to figure out for the longest time how I'm gonna do it. And I had one of my subscribers send me a picture, which I appreciate a lot, of what he did to his. And this is a stock this is a stock water pump. The issue is the steering column hits right here, and in order to make this work, I basically got another one, since I have many engines, and I welded this hole up. And the idea is to take this thing, which is an adapter, it's aluminum adapter that goes with a thermostat right here, and screws on, and I'm gonna have to weld it in like this, and that way it will clear the steering column that goes this way, and I'm gonna have the thermostat I need and not have to do any electrical work. I will figure out with the hoses later, but this is an option of a great option if you want to go mechanical instead of doing electrical. Also, you'll need this pulley to change out this pulley. You'll have to put this pulley on here, and this belt. All these part numbers are down below. you can check it out. It's under cooling system, and also for this system it's all down below too. That's the plan for my cooling system. I haven't got to it yet. I partially did some of it, but I haven't had the time to do it, so that's an option. So that is the last thing that I needed to do in order to get it done. With that said, the intercooler that I used for my turbo is also in the link down below. I had to get a oil relocate kit for my oil filter, and in order for it to work, because the problem is it hits the firewall, and I got oil relocate kit with a oil cooler that was installed over there, and that took care of the fact that I lost oil capacity on the oil pan when I re-welded, and it also relocated it so I don't have to cut a hole in the firewall. And then also on this side, your tunnel will need to be re-welded and recut, and that's what I have so far, and it does not leave you much room for the gas pedal, because the starter goes right in there. And on the starter I used the original starter from 2001 Volkswagen Jetta starter, so everything that came off that transmission I used. So I just went and bought a new one, and I ended up using that. So basically the other thing I'm missing is my cooling fans. I'm using the stock 944 radiator, and I bought 2 electric 8-inch cooling fans that's gonna get installed right here and right there, and that's gonna cool the water, and that's pretty much it. I mean, it's not a crazy amount, but at the same time it is a crazy amount of work. If I knew how much it would be, I would still do it because it's experience. Also, if you guys or anybody wants to do this swap, if I would do it again, I would rotate this engine a little bit more this way and relocate the turbo. What happens is the turbo is pretty close with the frame rails, but eventually I want to get a bigger turbo, and it will have to go right here. So if I was doing it, and if somebody's doing it a swap like this, I would recommend relocate the turbo, cut out the hassle with the steering column hitting the water pump, and rotate this engine way more this way. There's a lot going on this side, which has not enough room with building the intake manifold and all the other stuff, and the oil filters, relocate kits, like all that stuff is all on this side, and there's like barely any room all around. So just something to think about. I realized that way too late when my engine mounts were already done and all the other stuff, and so just something to keep in mind if you plan on doing something like this. Just rotate it, relocate the turbo. You'll save yourself a lot of hassle with figuring out stuff on this side. I don't think it's that hard to relocate it. I haven't relocated it. I'm planning on doing it later down the road, and if I knew sooner, I would have done it sooner, but just something to keep in mind. Also, where I'm stuck is, if you guys, a lot of people that do the swap that I seen is they use the stock ECU from the 944 and then they repin it. And I end up cutting all my wires out, everything out of the stock 944, like everything was shaved off, cut off, and I ended up, or tried to, put the harness and everything from the Audi, which is right here. This is where I'm stuck at. The problem with this, so I got this thing running for a few seconds and then the whole system shut me off. I got no spark, no injectors, nothing. And my guess is, and don't quote me on it, this is just a guess, the anti-theft security system locked me out and shut down the ECU. I can't find anybody that can flush it for me or look into it that I know of around my area. If you guys know anybody that works with ECUs, and maybe I can send it to them and they can reflush it or delete the security on it, let me know down below. I would like to get it done, but I also ended up buying a standalone ECU. So this is the system I got now, and I'm not good with wiring, and I tried to wire this thing in and then I got really busy with work, and with this system you have to learn everything about wiring and then try to hook it up. And I'm at the point where I'm trying to find somebody that can work on these EMU Master Black standalone ECUs. If you guys know anybody that is in PDX or Vancouver, Washington area, that I can take my car to them and get it wired completely standalone, program, mapped, all that good stuff, let me know down below. I'm trying to find somebody and it's pretty hard apparently. I'm at the point where I want this thing running, and I'm trying to find somebody I can just take it to, get it wired in. Electrical work is not my specialties. It's not something I enjoy. It's something I would avoid with my life if I can. My ideal idea was I put the wire harness in, I start it, it runs, and I drive. It did not work that way. Something happened with the ECU. I get no connection, I get nothing, and it's either have somebody flush it, reprogram the stock ECU, or do a standalone, which I already bought it, I just don't have time to hook it up, or I can't find somebody that will be able to hook it up for me. So that's the update with the car, why it's not running, what's going on with it. And alright guys, I feel like that was a lot of information. I might have missed a few things. For the most part, I covered all the major stuff that had to be done. A lot of the parts are down below. Go check them out. If you don't see what you're looking for, just let me know in the comments. I will try to find you the part number, or if I missed something, I might have with so much that's going on. Just comment down below. I'll happily answer it, since I was hoping to have it running and tested and all that stuff before I do the parts list, but since it doesn't look like it's going to be anytime soon, and I just figured I'll just release the episode. If you guys doing the same swap, let me know how it goes, and if it worked out for you. I'm hoping to find a tuner that can program my standalone sometime soon. Definitely try to do it this year, but first I gotta find one. And if you know anybody, let me know down below, or message me on Instagram at Yevi's World. And yeah, so thanks so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If you guys got any questions, let me know down below. If you liked it, let me know down below. And have a great day. We'll see you next time.